Good day, I am Airah PATULA from PSC11. And for today, I am going to tackle and discuss some of the answers from the questions regarding John Locke's political theory. So for the first question we have is a democracy. So why is a democracy the only justifiable form of government according to Locke? So as we all know, a democratic society is a society of free people and is one that abides by the rule of law. So this means that although sovereignty resides in the people, it does not mean that the people and their representatives can govern arbitrarily. Laws are enacted in order to guide the actions of both the people and the government officials. So in the two treatises of government, Locke defended that mankind are naturally free and equal against the idea that God had created everyone subservient to a ruler. So he contended that a person's fundamental rights, such as the rights of life, liberty, and property, are free of the legal structure of any government or given community. So some of the three key points that I have here is: first is the consent of the governed through a social contract. Second is to be able to establish a government to protect their natural rights. And third is Locke thought of two political social contracts, which later on I will be giving an emphasis on for the second question. So moving on to the social contract, or the role of the social contract in Locke's political theory. So, as stated a while ago, men are naturally free and equal. Locke resulted in introducing us into social contract, to which people in the state of nature conditionally transfer some of their rights to the government in order to better ensure the stability, comfortability of their lives, liberty, and property. Some of which are how Locke thought of two political social contracts, which is firstly, people who enter into an established political society must give their consent to establish a political society. Second, placing the people and the government in equal footing, which means that the people would obey the government so they can protect their rights to life, liberty, and property. For the third question regarding the limited power of government and why should the powers of the government be limited according to Locke. So, Locke proposed three main powers of government, namely legislative, executive, and federative power. So, legislative power, being the supreme power in the government, should be guarded from the abuses of those whom it was entrusted. Locke also gave an emphasis that the legislative must be under the law and should govern with written and published laws, which ought to be fair and just. Additionally, he maintained that the role of the government should be restricted to protecting the lives of the people and property of its constituents, and that it is only required because, in an ideal, anarchic state of nature, a number of issues would develop that would make life more precarious than it would be in a minimally protected society. So moving on to the last question. What elements in Locke's political philosophy may be used as a philosophical foundation of community development? Explain. So, here on the last question, I've listed four of the key or highlighted points that I thought of Locke's political philosophy that may be used as a foundation of community development. So, one of which is the natural rights to liberty, life, and property, based on the discussion a while ago on Locke's political philosophy, gave an emphasis on how the government should treat their constituents with right and just to the liberty, life, and property. Next is the consent of the governed, which is the inherent rights of each constituent should be respected and protected, as well as the active participation of the people in all aspects of community. And next is a social contract. So it is the responsibility of both the people and the government itself to achieve their common goals for the community development. And lastly, is a limiting power, or how the power of government should be limited for the community development initiatives to work well, their collaborative work regarding with the people and the community itself. So it is possible to work toward building inclusive, democratic, and self-governing communities that uphold people's rights and goals while encouraging cooperation and a sense of shared responsibility. Thank you for listening.